The Bristol race, let's not sugarcoat it. It was a total letdown. Fans came expecting sparks, wrecks, rivalries, everything short track racing is famous for. Instead, they got 500 laps of, well, not much. And if you thought it felt flat, you're not alone. NASCAR journalist Jeff Gluck called it pathetic. Fans online were brutal, and even drivers looked like they just wanted to get it over with. Yes, Kyle Larson dominated. He executed one of the cleanest, most controlled races we've seen in a while. And under normal circumstances, that would be headline material.
That's at least, what, fourth gear there, Kevin?
I was, well, when he was up on the rev limiter, right?
Xfinity, I do get motivated, and this is going to come across like very cocky, but I want to embarrass them, honestly. Like, you know, I want to embarrass NASCAR a little bit.
But this time, it only highlighted the problem. Bristol wasn't exciting. It was clinical, predictable, lifeless. The next-gen car was supposed to level the playing field, bring the chaos back. But at short tracks, it's doing the opposite. Larson started third, took the lead by lap 39, and never looked back. He led 411 of 500 laps, won both stages, averaged over 100 miles per hour, the fastest Bristol race since it was repaved with concrete. It was a masterclass in precision. But the big question is, was anyone actually entertained? Let's put it this way, there was one crash. That's it. One. The rest? Green flags. No drama. No comeback drives. No bumper-to-bumper madness. And certainly no signature Bristol chaos. Even Denny Hamlin, who came into the race with back-to-back wins and a shot at 3 in a row, couldn't get close to Larson. When the race ended, Larson even joked, "We hate to see him win. I'm sure you guys do too." Ouch. It was a great day for Hendrick Motorsports. A meaningful one too, as the win was dedicated to the late John Edwards. But that didn't change the fact that for most people watching, the race felt more like a practice session than a battle. And this isn't just about one race. This is a trend. Bristol, Martinsville, Richmond, New Hampshire, all have suffered since the next-gen car rolled out. What was once the most exciting genre of racing in NASCAR has turned into a follow-the-leader snooze. So what's the core issue? Clean air is still king. Once a driver gets out front, passing becomes nearly impossible. The new car was meant to eliminate that problem, but instead, it's made short track racing even more dependent on track position. And drivers are stuck, literally. Take Bubba Wallace. He looked strong early, maybe even top 10 speed. But one misstep, one shuffle down the order, and that was it. Stuck in dirty air. Finished 19th. "Damn, that was rough," Bubba tweeted. "Thought it was going all right, then just plateaued." That kind of disappointment is starting to feel normal, and that's the real problem. Because once the fans start expecting races like this to be dull, they stop showing up. And they stop tuning in. Bristol used to be electric, a sellout, a bucket list event. Now, empty seats, low energy, a vibe that says something's missing. And that something is real racing. Here's what NASCAR needs to seriously consider. The short tracks aren't dying because fans stopped caring. They're dying because the product isn't delivering. It's not a driver issue, not a talent problem. This grid is stacked. We've got champions, rising stars, veterans, and they're all capable of putting on a show. But when the car makes it nearly impossible to pass, when clean air decides the winner before halfway, when tire wear doesn't factor in, what are we doing? Even Jeff Gluck put it plainly. If NASCAR keeps this up, short tracks might not make it on the schedule in a few years. That's a scary thought. Because short tracks are NASCAR's roots. They're where the sport was born. And if they fade away, you lose part of what makes NASCAR unique. The good news? NASCAR knows there's a problem. Testing is underway for a revised short track package. Aero tweaks, tire changes, more grip, less reliance on clean air. But let's be honest, it needs to get here fast. The clock is ticking, because fans are tired of excuses. They don't want to hear, "We're working on it." They want to see action. And if Bristol can't bring the heat anymore, what hope is there for the rest? And think about the ripple effects. If races are dull, viewership drops. If viewers tune out, sponsors get nervous. If sponsors pull back, teams suffer. It's a chain reaction. And it all starts with whether fans believe the racing is worth their time. So let's talk solutions. First, give us tires that actually wear out. Right now, they're too durable. We need fall-off, strategy, pit stops that matter, tires that punish aggressive driving and reward smooth operators. Second, fix the aero. The current package works okay on intermediate tracks, but on short tracks, it's a disaster. Cars can't breathe. Passing becomes a fantasy. Adjust the underbody, rework the diffuser, whatever it takes. Third, put drivers in the room. The ones who race these cars every week have the best feel for what's wrong and what could fix it. Listen to them. Use their feedback. And if NASCAR wants to get creative, throw in more variables, stage breaks with reverse grids, mandatory green flag pit windows, incentives for overtakes. It's time to experiment, because the current formula isn't cutting it. Talladega is up next, and sure, it'll probably be thrilling. Pack racing always is. But Talladega being good doesn't erase Bristol being bad. That's the trap. You can't let one big race distract from a systemic issue. And here's the thing. This isn't about nostalgia. This is about standards. Fans know what Bristol can be, what it should be, and what we saw this time around, it wasn't that. So NASCAR, the ball's in your court. Fix the package, fix the racing, because the clock is ticking and fans aren't going to wait around forever. Final thought. If this trend continues, races like Bristol will fade. Not officially, not with some dramatic announcement, but with silence. Fewer fans, fewer eyeballs, until one day, it's just gone. And wouldn't that be the biggest loss of all? What do you think? Is NASCAR doing enough to fix short track racing? Or are we watching a slow collapse in real time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're here for honest racing talk that doesn't sugarcoat the problems. Let's keep this conversation alive, because if fans don't speak up, who will?